Khushbu, we can start.
Sure, sir. I request everyone to put their mics on mute when the conversation is going on. Yeah. Just. I hope everyone is doing well and fine. So welcome to the another episode of Coffee Conversation. That is my business, my profession, and my growth. That is brought to you by none other than the Emerging India Forum, TEIF, and supported by the Lions Club of Mumbai Shining, IBG, that is India Business Group, Novavem Learning Students Group. Our guest speaker, that is the most important part of the day, and I would like to invite Mr. Anuj Arora, Company Secretary and DVP Legal of Aviva Life Insurance. Good evening, sir. How are you doing?
Thank you, Khushbu. Thank you, team, for inviting me to this session. I'm doing very well. Look forward to speaking on this session with the speakers and sharing my experience.
Definitely, sir. Likewise. So I would like to give a brief introduction about our guest today to everyone. That Mr. Anuj Arora is an Indian and UK's qualified chartered secretary, governance professional, risk management professional, CSR professional, and certified GDPR practitioner. Like I'm so much overwhelmed just after speaking this one entire sentence in one go. There's like so much achievements. He has also expertise in corporate governance, compliance, risk management, and legal matters, having around 10 years of experience. He has previously worked with Fidelity International, Gurgaon, as a company secretary and a senior legal analyst and company secretary and DVP legal at Royal Bank of Scotland, based in Gurgaon, India. He has also got a certificate in UK Anti-Bribery Act. And Mr. Anuj Arora has excellent recommendations from big names in his field and shares interest in several technologies such as artificial intelligence. So I welcome you, sir, on behalf of the entire team TEIF. So I've just like you introduced to the concept of this entire coffee conversation, that we would be doing this coffee conversation in 3 rounds. The first one would be the personal and professional. Second round would be as in like how technology is helping legal professionals in the fast pacing environment today that we have right now. And third would be a very fun and a spontaneous rapid fire round where we would like to have a little fun and chit chat with you with the same. And finally, our host for the today's episode are Mr. Loyan Amir Virani, sir. He's legal tech evangelist at the rate Prime Infotech Solutions and founder of the Emerging India Forum. Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Yes. And we also have Mansoor Thakral, sir, who is the co-founder of the Emerging India Forum. And I myself is Kharbanda, legal intern at the Prime Infotech Solutions. So I welcome everyone, and I hope we'll be having an engaging and insightful conversation throughout. And I hope everyone would enjoy that. So over to you, Mansoor and Amir, sir.
Thank you, Khushbu. All right, so then let's start the coffee conversation, Mr. Anuj.
Surely. Thanks for inviting me. Thanks, Lion. Look forward to speaking to you and with the participants there.
Definitely. Okay, so Anuj sir, could you tell us a little bit more about yourself in terms of what you do now and about your educational background?
Surely. So I am currently working as DVP Legal and Company Secretary with Aviva India. So I lead the corporate governance, risk management, commercial contracts, key strategic and restructuring initiatives, which are undertaken by Aviva Group in India. On educational side, I think Khushbu has already given a description of my qualifications. So I'll just sum up. I am an Indian and UK qualified chartered secretary, a certified GDPR practitioner, certified CSR professional, and certification in UK Anti-Bribery Act. Recently, I was also awarded as Modern Governance Hydrant Award recipient by Diligent, which is in the Digital Transformation Innovator category, which is run across the globe by Diligent. Diligent is again a technology company providing board governance solutions across the world. So it's a brief introduction of what I do currently and my educational background.
Okay. So, sir, we have noticed that you have an immense experience of 10 years in corporate governance and compliance in legal matters. So where it all began and how is that experience been?
Surely. So where it all began, I'll start with the where I started. I started with training with the ONGC group. Again, I would say that is the foundation stone for any professional. How strong your internship experiences will drive how much you go in your professional journey. And then after my training with ONGC group, I joined RBS. RBS, as you all are aware, it is a banking organization which had a presence in India. So I was supporting the operations, legal operations side of the banking, and I have served bank for almost 5.5 years, looking after corporate governance, legal matters, advisory, setting up branches of RBS India in various other parts of the world. So, and then from there, after I moved to Fidelity, which is an asset management organization. So it gave a different flavor of experience in terms of how a mutual fund company operates across the globe. It's one of the biggest mutual fund companies across the globe. So it gave a varied experience of how asset management company operates in different pieces of the world and how that integration between the countries is crucial to business viability of such a large organization. And then I moved to Aviva India, where I'm working as company secretary and DVP legal. Here I look after the board governance, risk management, and legal contracting and legal advisory. It was a switch of industry for me from the banking and asset management to insurance. It is a public company wherein you have a lot of regulations triggered because of a specific regulator, IRDA, which looks after the insurance companies. So it has given me a range of varied experience across these BFSI industries I've been working with. So that's how I think it's a summary of my experience.
Okay, so as you said that you're working as a company secretary at Aviva Life Insurance. So we want to understand a bit in depth. So what are the day-to-day activities that you perform while you're in that company as a company secretary?
Surely. So my job is bifurcated into two roles right now. One is company secretary and other part is legal. So as a company secretary, your prime responsibility is to ensure compliance with corporate laws. And secondly, you act as a bridge between the board of directors and the management. So any information flowing from management to the board goes through you, and that's where your understanding of board becomes important, wherein you can help businesses add value in terms of explaining them what is the requirement of the board, what board looks to see in the paper. Even though business would like to sum up everything they would know or they think is relevant for board to know, but that might not be relevant for board to know. So you act as a bridge, trying to explain and add value to the business of what should go to the board. Board is not interested in how much detailing you would have done. They want to understand kind of a process which went behind a paper coming into picture, what kind of options were evaluated, etc. So that's the primary role of company secretary. And company secretary, apart from this, the biggest challenge of a company secretary is that you don't have one boss. And in the management, it is taught that it's always good to have received directions from one boss. Okay. So you will have CEO as your boss, you will have head legal as your boss, you will have all the board members who are there on the board as your boss. So you have to ensure, manage and navigate through the senior stakeholders in the organization. That's the challenge of a company secretary. And on the legal side, I look after general contracts, commercial leasing, and general advisory on how an insurance product is structured, what are challenges from a regulation standpoint which we need to cater to. So this is the primary things which I do in my day-to-day job.
Okay. Okay. So as you mentioned that you have many bosses and you have to answer many people, how do you cope up with that? So like, how does it start?
So I think you need to keep it very simple.
Okay.
As a company secretary, you will definitely receive directions from different verticals. At the same time, you need to put in the interest of company and shareholders first. So you need to strike out that balance, that without questioning anyone or without hurting anyone, you are able to communicate what you want to communicate in best interest of company. So sometimes you need to take a stance where you need to tell that, sorry guys, this is not doable, even if your boss is telling so. But you need to convince and bring in a rationale as to why this can't be done or how this can be done. I think it's very easy to say this can't be done, but entire success mantra of any professional would be to figure out how it can be done.
Okay.
So I think as a company secretary and legal professional, we should find out ways of how things can be done, because having a conservative approach and telling that this is legally not possible is the best. This is probably the safest view which any individual can give.
All right. Fair enough with that answer.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So now as like in your past experience that you have shared, you had worked with Fidelity International as well as a company secretary. So what has been the difference between Aviva and Fidelity International with the same position? Is there any much difference? If you could
There is
shine some light on that.
difference in how these organization operates. Fidelity was a back office operation of Fidelity worldwide. Which means you don't have a customer facing business in India. Okay. However, in Aviva, you have a customer facing business in India. When you have a customer facing business, you have its own set of challenges in terms of how you deal with customer behavior, how you define your strategies in terms of changing customer behavior, etc. So that's the marked difference. Another I would say is the governance in a regulatory setup becomes more focused, and there are a lot of regulations which apply just because you are governed by a particular regulator, sectoral regulator. So the level of governance and compliances increases. It doesn't mean that a non-regulated entity is not well governed. It is equally well governed. However, there is thin line between what you do voluntarily and what you are mandated by law. So that mandatory aspects increase in a regulated environment.
Okay. So when we are like, you're working in a regular environment, what's it like different from any other environment? If you could shine some light on that particular thing.
I'll tell you. So like insurance or banking, these are you have sectoral regulators in place to govern these companies. Like insurance is governed by IRDA. Banking is governed by RBI. Listed companies are governed by SEBI. So you have sectoral regulator who is looking only at insurance as a vertical. So they will develop regulations which impact only insurance companies. Then you also see a lot more prescriptive and a mandatory things coming from the regulator. However, in a non-regulated setup, where you do not have a customer facing business or you don't have a sectoral regulator, you do a lot of things because your shareholders want you to do that, or you think that as a good governed company, you should do those compliances. So it becomes more voluntary, and it is kind of a principles an organization set for itself, and you follow those principles. voluntarily. In the regulated setup, it's more of the mandate driven by the regulator, and at the same time, you will also have from an organization standpoint, you will lay down your own governance principles, because each and every organization in this competitive world wants to be a best governed organization to get the success in this competitive world. So each will have their own governance standards in place. So apart from the regulated setup, you will have your governance standards in place in each organization. Same is driven by Aviva, Fidelity, and RBS.
All right, that's a good answer, sir. Okay, now we have noticed that you had used to work as a senior legal analyst at Royal Bank of Scotland. So could you explain the roles and responsibilities you like served over there as a legal analyst? And we want to understand, is this role like a very unconventional role in the legal field? So my question are in two parts. So please tell.
Surely. So I'll take one by one. I'll answer your first question to begin with. So in my role as a senior analyst in RBS, I used to look after corporate governance, board governance, and the legal advisory, contracts, general advisory on data protection, on employee related issues. And another big thing which RBS interested me with was impact of change in key legislations. So if you go back the memory lane, you will realize that Companies Act was changed from 1956 Act. A new act came into picture in 2013, and it got replaced. So all organizations operating in India had to evaluate what the impact of this new regulation would be on them. So I understood at the very beginning phases in my career that once a change in regulation happens, as a company secretary and legal professional, you will have to drive that change in an organization. You will have to do early preparation of reading the law before it comes into effect, so that you can prepare your organizations well when the law takes into effect. So you know in advance what needs to be done, and that's the responsibility of a company secretary and a legal professional who is sitting in the organization, to identify which functions will get impacted, what they will need to do to comply with such a law. Will it require any system changes? Will it require new technology interventions? So like data protection law is coming. We all have been hearing from last 5 years or so that data protection law is coming. So as an organization, how you prepare for it? You keep reading the bills which come, and then they get crashed, and then new bill comes. So you need to read all those to see how a law takes into shape. How a new law comes into picture is not not one fine day parliament will pass a law. So it is a thorough journey. I think each and every law in India has taken at least 20 years for discussion and drafting. And there's a need for our political players to increase that speed, so that companies keep pace with the changes happening across the globe. The second question which you asked, is it an unconventional role? I would say all these are just designations. A role is defined by you when you enter the organization. Company may expect you to do 5 things when you enter the organization. Over a period of time, you may end up doing 15, 20 things. That all depends on you as a professional. So role is never a limiting boundary for you to tell how much you should do. More you do, your designation and role will evolve. So my suggestion to all the participants would be to do as much as you can. The moment you start delivering more, you can ask for expansion of role, resources, etc. But I think that has to start from you as a professional. When you do more, company will recognize and will reward you in different perspective. It can be in monetary terms, it can be in upgradation of your designation, it can be through making your team larger. It depends on how you are rewarded for that. But for you as a professional, you should drive to do more and more. That's what I would suggest to the participants there.
All right, thank you for that. Okay, so Mr. Anuj, one more thing. So we want to understand, like everyone, you also must have started your journey by interning somewhere. All right, so we want to so can you please share your story or give us like an importance of internship and your experience and how the internship has been for you?
Surely. So I'll start with a very, I'll say one line which I read when I started. I was searching for internship.
Okay.
I read that person who will be interviewing you has 20 years of experience. Just thinking how a person can have a 20 years of experience when I was starting this course. And now I look back and see I have gained almost 11 years of experience. So it does happen. As far as internship experience goes, I think internship has two roles, has two aspects to it. One is what you are assigned in your internship, how diversified work you are assigned in your internship. Second is how much you are ready to take in your internship. So it may happen that you are not being given too much work in internship. However, you will have to prove that you want to learn more and more in your internship so that you get more and more from your seniors. If you go on your own pace, not showing that willingness to learn more, and I would say don't get compartmentalized at the very beginning that you are here to learn law.
Okay.
I would say everyone should learn business, how a business is conducted. If you know your business, then you can advise better on how compliant and how you navigate through the challenges of law. But for any individual who wants to succeed in the business world will have to understand the business model of the organization. And you can't be like, I am a lawyer, I don't need to understand the business. I am a company secretary, I do my job, I don't need to understand how company operates. For you to add value to business, you need to understand what business is done and how it is done. Once you understand that, your job as a professional is very simple. And you know how you can add value in different verticals, how you can help solve their problem, etc. Only advise, become a solution enabler. Generally, legal profession, how it is conceived by business or perceived by business is, you are not allowing me to do this, you are not allowing me to do this. So I think we have to respect what law states. At the same time, we need to find out ways of how things can be done. That's what will define you as a legal professional. It is very, as I said earlier, it is very easy for any legal professional to say it can't be done. But that's not what you get paid for. You get paid for how it can be done. If business want to listen to the answer, it can't be done, then they don't need you. Everyone can give that view. So that's, and I think in summary, it is a launching pad for you to start your career. The more stronger the base is, more you grow. Just make optimum utilization of the internship periods. In company secretaries, CAs, we have long duration internships, which really helps you grow as a professional. When you are starting, you think as a student that why you need a 24 months internship or 15 months internship. MBA will have, say, 1 month internship, 2 month internship. So you compare those professions as a student. But I think each profession has its own set of unique challenges, and that's how it is designed. So just try to get maximum out of your internships is my message.
All right. And if you don't mind, like, what would be that one thing that you learned from your internships from the past?
So I remember the day I started my internship, ONGC Group was starting up a power plant in Tripura. The person whom I was reporting to was CFO and a company secretary. He had almost 30 years of experience in the industry. So he was one of the few starting company secretaries in India we had. And he told me, we are getting a project financed from a bank and project cost is approx 3,500 crores. You need to get this due diligence done. On the day one of the training, you get this message. first amount makes you insane. You haven't heard, as a student, you wouldn't have heard of 3,500 crore project or that numbers. So it makes you, just makes you, where am I? Kind of a feeling. So, and so the kind of level your mentors repose in you and how you deliver on that will define your internships. I started working in ONGC the day when I got this job. He was the oldest company secretary. So he allowed me to make mistakes. He knew as an intern, you will make mistakes. And even as professionals, we do make mistakes. Even after 10 years of experience, 20 years of experience, even CEOs of top companies make mistakes, and they agree to it that they did make a mistake, and now they are changing their decision. So it happens. But I think biggest learning for us as an individual should be, we should be willing to make a mistake and to learn from that mistake, that this mistake never gets repeated again. That's how you learn as a professional. And just best ways to learn is to react in a particular scenario when you are an intern and see how your bosses react in that scenario. I think putting yourself in shoes of your manager is the best way to learn. And it holds throughout your journey as a professional, not only at internship level. So you see how your senior would have reacted in such a scenario will tell you whether your reaction was right or wrong, or what you need to do to reach that level.
Definitely, that's very beautifully said by you. Very beautifully. All right. So the last question, okay, which I really like. What like motivated you and everything just go into the banking sector and the finance sector? What was it like?
So to be honest, I would say nothing motivated me to enter the banking sector. I just landed up here.
Okay.
And once you land up somewhere, you start working on it. Either you develop interest or you don't develop interest.
Fair enough, yes.
Unfortunately, I developed interest in banking. And that's how I've been growing in BFSI space primarily.
Okay.
It doesn't mean you have to limit your industry to BFSI. I'm open to new industries, trying new industries, challenges of new industries as a professional. I would say as a professional, you should try all industries which comes your way. So I haven't set a criteria that I want to be in a BFSI industry only. Somehow things have happened in past and I have ended up in BFSI only.
Okay.
So there was no inclination, no motivation for entering into banking.
Okay.
Some things happens and you take it.
All right. So it just happened that when you're like, I'm in the banking industry now.
So I happened to start CSI. It just happened.
Okay.
So one of my teachers in school gave me a form that this is the company secretary course.
Okay.
And he circulated form to everyone in the class. So out of my 12th batch, I think 50% of us are company secretaries now in different companies. So it just happens sometimes. Sometimes you choose your path, sometimes it happens. So for me, it happened.
All right. Fair enough, sir. All right. Thank you for that, sir.
Thank you.
All right. Yeah. Over to you, Khushbu.
Yeah, I would now like to invite Amit sir for the next round, that is the technical round.
Okay. So, Anuj, you have been played vast role at various industries, compliance, everything. So, how technical savvy, right from you started your student days? Let's start with that.
So I would say all I knew about technology when I started was Orkut. That's all I knew, because in schools schools used to try you to be well versed with Word, PowerPoint, but you made little bit of presentations there, and you start your internship and you're told you have to do everything on the computer.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how at that time you start learning how things can be done. I think only thing from on a technology standpoint is you can't say that I have learned all at any given point in time. You just need to keep learning and upgrading yourself from technology standpoint day by day. So every day technology is changing, every day law is changing. You just need to read, upgrade, forget and relearn is the mantra. You might have been doing things one way 10 days back. Now that doesn't exist. You have to forget what you have been doing and how you have been doing, and you have to learn new ways of doing things.
Well, I'll remember this mantra of yours, because every conversation, everyone gives success mantra. So good. So let's continue. During your internship, what you must have come across technology. So what kind of technology did you experience? Can you share with the viewers?
It was a very basic level of technology which I experienced during my internship. It was primarily to do with Word, Excel, and PowerPoint, nothing beyond that. Because as a company secretary, you are interested with making presentations to board. So I got inclination of how using or learning how to make a PowerPoint presentation, how to give that presentation. So in internship, my technology usage was limited to Microsoft Office, I would sum up.
Yeah, everywhere, every intern has to go through these three tools: Word, Excel, right, PowerPoint. That is there. But nowadays, this new interns are coming across various technology solutions, which right, law firms, corporate legal, or if you at what do you say, tax firm also. So they are really, what do you say, they are experienced more advanced technologies. But continuing our journey in our conversation, during COVID, you must have faced a lot of difficulties. So what, how did technology help you while working from home? And what was your company supported with different technology?
Yeah, so I think the technology came to our rescue in pandemic, and we were forced to look at things, how we can leverage technology. Earlier, a lot of individuals, including me, I would say, are pretty much reluctant in adopting. Everyone is ready to do the things as they have to be done. But it is difficult to give up how things have been done and how you can do now differently. So COVID brought that opportunity to everyone, how you think differently, how you deal with scenarios differently. It did throw that challenge on us. How we overcame that is, we looked at our agreements, we looked at our board management solutions, how we conduct board meetings. We all have been conducting board meetings physically in a boardroom. What are challenges of meetings happening virtually? Now you see a lot of webinars in last 3 years. Earlier, all were physical meetings. I think everyone learned how you can cut down on cost using technology. And given the face of economy in different countries, each and every organization is looking at how to cut down cost and how to improvise on technology. So you have to do a cost benefit analysis of thing done without technology being used and things being done with integration of technology. And to surprise of a lot of people, it came out that with using technology, you are able to save a lot of costs. At the same time, I would say it also gives you a opportunity to look back at things which you pick up in your job, which you shouldn't be doing at all. So there are a lot of operational things which you do. And when you bring in technology and think from a fresh perspective, you see a lot of those can be automated, and it will leave you with more productive time to do productive things. While we are in job, we take a lot of things, it keep happening manually. So it's good to have take a pause and look at things, how things can be done differently. And our company supported us enormously in building and leveraging new technologies. We used Manupatra, we used Diligent, we used Blueprint. We took a lot of demos of contract automations happening. So 80% of contracts an organization enters into are standard contracts, where you just have 10 variable fields and there's nothing else. So we look at it. Can we automate this? Yes. And if we automate this, how much of our workload decreases? So all those analysis went in, and then we adopted some of them. We did not adopt some of them. It has its own challenges, but it really gave us a flavor of what can be done in future also.
Good. Continuing, you have mentioned something that adopting technology has given you time. So how is you and your team using, as you said, now we can use it in productive things. So my question, I'm dividing in two parts. So what productive things you have taken up when you have got so much time using technology? Now you have a lot of more time to devote. So where you're devoting your time between your personal and professional, and how has it impacted your team also, and how they're utilizing those time?
So I would say before COVID happened, I was looking only after company secretarial activities in my organization. And just before COVID, I started entering into legal. So once we did this exercise of leveraging technology, identifying where some operational stuff, non-value addition stuff, which we are forced to do as a part of a process building, can be automated. Once we did this exercise, we identified that we get, say, 2 hours more in a day to do other things. So we took on legal, I took on contracts, took on reading new laws which are coming into picture, which will impact organizations in next 2-3 years. Like data protection is one which I talked about. So everyone is waiting after GDPR's execution in Globe. Everyone is waiting for India data protection law. And as we all have been saying, data is new oil. So everyone is waiting for governance of that oil to happen. So you start reading what a data protection law how it will impact the running of businesses. Then you identify how it will impact. You see, you need to do this 10 things if this law in this current shape comes into picture. So you identify those things, you drill down on those steps. So these are value additions which you can do by using technology. You can try to do more value addition things in your organization, where you will also get more valued in terms of what you are delivering, because of the time which you have freed up after using technology to your rescue. So there are a lot of things which can be standardized and a lot of things which can be done without incurring any cost. I would say we don't need new technology. We need to know first how to use existing technologies better.
True.
If we just evaluate in our organizations that how we can use existing technologies to automate some of our work, we will definitely free up around 2 hours in our day life without spending any money. I think we are not using technology fully. We use Word for typing. Majority of the players. Is it only for typing? What all it can be used for? So if we use our existing tools also better, we'll save a lot of time and it will add more value.
That is true. That is true. I've written an article on this, unused features of majority softwares, which is not benefiting the company as well as the team. So, people are just aware, like I'll give an example because we provide legal technology solutions to law firms, legal departments across pan India. There is this software which is sharing for open forum also. Later, compare Workshare. It compares across Word, PDF, Excel, and PPT. Law firms are using only Word and PDF, but they also get Excel. There are many departments in the law firms who can benefit from the Excel comparison. There are the departments who can benefit from the PPT comparison. But what you have seen, they are not using all the 4 features. And what is happening? they're doing manually PPT changes and then make revision and all those things. In Excel also they will, and it is eating up the time. So what happens? Unused features are not adding them. So we have started a campaign of having master classes every fortnightly, and we have seen they have told me, oh, wow, this feature we are not aware. So
Yeah.
awareness and education, like how you said, we have to look at our existing solutions and what missing things are there and which to utilize. So continuing conversation, which technology has impacted you in your career?
So I would say automating contracts have impacted me big time because they eat a lot of time in terms of reviewing contract, etc. But when you filter it out, you have 80 to 90% contracts getting executed in a standard format. Why a lawyer need to sit on a standard contract is my first question to my team. Why you need to look at this contract? All this contract has is the commercial detail or the party name, party address. Is really a lawyer expertise required to do this job? Answer is no. But if you ask how many years that you have been doing this job, you will get 5 years, 10 years, 8 years. So we need to look at ways how we have been operating. And do we really need to continue the way we have been operating? I think it doesn't happen in our field only, it happens in every field. And we should revisit of how we do our work, how we do our jobs, at least in a year. I think in annual review cycle, this should be one of the mandatory fields, how you will automate 10% of 20% of your current job. If this becomes a part of your performance cycle, I think a lot of automation will happen free of cost.
Yeah, true. Because what happens by using outdated manual processes, technologies, you are wasting a lot of money and resources. So,
so you keep writing in your diary pads, you have to do this thing on this date. Use Outlook to that effect, put a reminder immediately. You don't need to scroll your diary to check whether you had to do this job on this date. You'll check your diary, you'll go on that date, you'll identify, you'll waste 10-15 minutes in the process. When it can throw up solution immediately, instantly, without you being thinking about that, whether you have to do this or not. So we can use existing technology a lot more efficiently. So whenever anyone comes up that you need to spend X amount on new technology solution, I think first question as a business head should be how much of this can be done with existing solution.
Very true, very true. Sharing this Outlook thing, other small things which you are using in your personal life for your day-to-day affairs management. Can you just share some light which will help others, because they're not aware, like how you said, Outlook. There are other calendar tools are there. What do you say? Google Calendar. So many other tools are small tools are there. Which can you share some light for the viewers? I think so. You've been using technology to the hilt.
So I think all the solutions which you think of are available online free of cost. You just need to, if you don't know, there's no shame in it. You don't know it. Just Google it. You will find the answer to it. How it can be automated. You'll get all the answers. How you can use macros. How you can use mail merge. How the moment you remember something that you need to do this job on 10 days after, just put a reminder in your calendar, just like you do in your personal lives on your phone. It will just take a minute, rather than asking your team member, can you remind me on X date that I have to do this? Then it becomes team member's job to remind you. We don't need all this. I think as a leaders also, we need more tech savvy a leader is, more tech savvy his team will be. So as a leader, I think you'll need to set a benchmark of using technology efficiently, and that's how it will go down in your teams. So I use a lot of reminders. We have a lot of litigations in customer facing business. So You do a lot of reminders automatically. You can send emails. You can schedule emails when it can be sent. So you don't need to do these jobs manually. You just need to do is have a session on how you can use Outlook or Word more efficiently. If you keep having this session once a month, I would say you will learn at least 2-3 things of how you can do things differently. And I would still say I haven't learned how to use these tools fully. Still something new comes up. So it's like things have been designed. I would say it's a failure of organizations which have marketed that also. We have marketed, everyone has purchased Microsoft Office, Microsoft Word, but no one knows how to use it. You are using it for the purpose for which it was not designed. So if paying whole lot of cost for Microsoft license just for typing. So we need to challenge ourselves. Are we utilizing the money we have paid for technology? Then we say we are technologically backward. We are technologically backward not because organizations haven't spent on technology, but there has not been much awareness on how to use the technology. Each organization has these technologies in place, but very few use it to the optimum levels. So I think before any new technology purchase happens in organization, you should force people to come up with solutions with existing technologies.
So very good. Like software audit has to be audit is done for other things. Software audit should be also be done on a regular basis. So good thing. So on this thing we can continue more thing, but we have got other rounds to have a conversation. Definitely we will have another round of coffee with you, sir. Many more things I think so you have to learn from you. So over to Khushbu.
It's always a dual experience. I keep learning from participants on this, from you. So it's a mutual experience. We keep learning from each other. I just say it's a sagar of gyan. You just keep taking from where it comes. Filter it out what you need.
I have changed my questions. I'm not just looking at my question, but having a conversation with you, I have reframed my questions. So it's really inspiring, and I love changing my questions with the guest speakers and to ask new challenging questions. Yeah.
Always welcome to change your questions and come up with more challenging questions.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Anuj sir. Actually, the way sir has Anuj sir has entirely put the conversation flow going on, and the way he's coming up with the answers, that's very interesting. So I guess that is why sir had to change his questions. He did not had any other option. So it is amazing the way you're handling everything, sir. And it's very inspiring at the same time for people who are young and like me, who are just on the verge of passing out and entering this entire corporate world and scenario. And to understand the fact that it is okay, even if you have not figured out what you want to do, might be there will be a path that's already decided for you. So that motivates us so much. And by this, we come to the final and third round of the conversation, that is the rapid fire round. And the rules for this round is very simple. You just have to be very spontaneous, and you'll be given only 10 seconds since it's a rapid fire round. The questions are fun and it's informal. So yes. Sure. Also, we have a surprise gift at the end of this conversation for you after the rapid fire round. So bringing on question number 1, I request nobody to put the answers in the chat box. This is particularly for the guest. So question number 1, sir. How many sisters does the Northeast India states have? Options are 9, 8, or 7.
Can you repeat the question? I couldn't hear it.
How many sisters are there in the Northeast India?
How many sisters?
States. Yes.
States.
Sisters, states. Northeast India. That is 9, 8, or 7.
I think it's 8.
So I think you should reconsider, or we can go for a 50-50 option.
I'll stick to it.
Okay, no, so the answer is 7. Northeast India has 7 sisters. Second
Okay.
question. Who was the first Mughal emperor of India? Option A, Humayun. Option B, Babur. Option C, Akbar.
Who was the
First Mughal emperor of India. Option A, Humayun. Option B, Babur. Option C, Akbar.
Babur?
Babur. That's correct, sir. That's very correct. He was the first Mughal emperor of India. Question number 3. Who is the famous actress and is now the wife of Prince Harry of United Kingdom, who starred in a famous series which is based on law? And the name of the series, for hint, it is Suits, the one you're wearing right now, completely formal. So the
I know the
options
character,
are,
but I don't know the real name.
I guess you might, from the options you'll guess it, I guess. Option A is Elizabeth, option B is Diana, option C it's Meghan.
The
Wife of
third one.
Prince Harry. Yeah, it's Meghan Markle. Correct. Fourth question. I hope you are a cricket fan, sir. Which
Yeah.
IPL teams have won the most number of titles?
It's Mumbai.
Options are CSK, Mumbai, or KKR.
Mumbai.
So it's CSK.
No, it's Mumbai. You need to recheck.
CSK has won 5 titles and Mumbai has won 4.
No, I think it's other way around.
Okay, I think I might be wrong in this one, but as per Google, CSK has won 5 titles till now. Chennai
Maybe
Super
I'm
Kings.
wrong.
Next question is, chewing gum is banned in which country? That's United Kingdom, Singapore,
Khushbu, sorry.
or you? Yes, sir.
Anuj sir is a cricketer, so don't challenge him on cricket questions.
Yes, sir. That is why I said the way he spoke so confidently, then I thought there might be a possibility that I may be wrong. Although I've Googled it.
So
Because there's always a competition
Sir,
between CSK and
your
MI.
personal round is waiting, huh? Khushbu, you forgot about the personal round.
Yes, sir. Sir, pardon?
Personal round questions, that is not over.
Yes, sir.
Continue.
So, who was the first woman to win the Nobel Prize? Option A, Marie Kom. Option B, option C, Indira Gandhi.
I lost your option B.
Mother Teresa.
Mother Teresa.
That's completely correct. Who played the role of lawyer in the famous movie Pink? Paresh Rawal, Amitabh Bachchan, or Irfan Khan?
Amitabh Bachchan.
That's correct. And this is the last question for the day. And the sir has given almost all the answers very correctly. So Inox, that is an entertainment multiplex. It's going to merge with another multiplex.
PVR.
So the options are PVR. That's correct. Completely correct. It's PVR. So we are very much impressed, sir. Now, like, I'll be running out of questions if I start continuing more. Thank you so much. And sir, we have a gift hamper for you that will be delivered to you accordingly by the team TIF, that is the Emerging India Forum, for gracing this conversation today.
Thank you.
So
It
over
was
to
really
you,
rapid.
Yes, sir. Because we try and keep questions from all the sects.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, sir.
So, Mansoor, over to you.
Yes. All right. Khushbu was a little bit very excited about the rapid fire questions. So she's like, no, I'm going to go first and ask the full rapid fire. Then Mansoor said, you do the personal question. I said, fair enough. She can go forward with it. Okay. So let's start with the personal questions now. Okay. So as Khushbu said, and everyone's like, you are like a cricketer. So could you please tell us that aspect of your life? How did cricket come into your life? And I do know that you play cricket once in a while. So overall, just explain us that.
So I started playing cricket from a very early age. I don't remember exact age when I started playing it, but best I could recall would be around 6-7 years of age when I was. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir, you're audible.
Okay. And so I like to play cricket. I play cricket daily in my society, and then I play professional cricket on weekends. I'm fast bowler. And I think cricket allows you to really understand how teams are built. It really helps in your professional setup, how you trust people with how do you assign the role, kind of trust you have and kind of bonding you develop in sports is next to anything. So I think it really helps you in setting up for your corporate world also. I think Mansoor has dropped off. Khushbu, I think Mansoor has dropped off.
No, sir, there's, I guess, some technical error and he'll be joining us back. No problem, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Just a minute, sir. So since he asked you about cricket, that when did you started playing it? So did you take it up as a hobby later on, or did you try and explore it professionally also?
So I think parents didn't allow me to explore it professionally. They wanted me to study, so I kept on studying. But I never left cricket. I still play cricket. And once I entered corporate world, I started playing more cricket in corporate teams. So I think corporates have helped me not only evolve as a professional, but as a cricketer too.
That's amazing to know, sir, because this is what happens in most common households of India, that at a early age you are pressurized to do something that even you don't want to do. So how you have carried it as a passion, it is amazing to know, with work and with life. So do you want to share, sir, something about your role model?
I would say role models keep changing in different phases of life you are in. So
Right.
there's no fixed role model per se that this individual is my role model. I think you'll have role models in different spheres of life. Like in cricket, you'll have a different role model. In corporate world, you'll have a different role model. At personal level, you'll have different role model. I think no individual is perfect. That you try to learn everything from that individual, whoever that may be. It is best to learn good qualities from each role models in different spheres of life and try to develop such qualities in you. And I think in terms of learning from role models, one should not lose your originality and objectivity. A lot of time what happens, you start copying your role models. I think you
That's
should
it.
learn from your role models, not copy them, because originality and your thought process is what will define where you go. Just by copying someone, you can't become someone. And I think no one
Exactly.
should try to become someone, should try to learn from them and become good human.
Right. Exactly. So you learn from others and try and imbibe those same similar qualities in your own unique way. And that's
Right,
what makes an individual different from everyone. So
right.
who is your current role model, sir?
So as I
As
said, in
in
different,
professionally or in, yeah, different sex we have
so
like that.
professionally, I have had different role models. My current CEO is one of the role model I have. In RBS, I had a CFO who was my role model. So there are different role models. It's not like because you switch companies, but you don't switch role models.
That's okay. The perspective you have on this answer is very amazing, sir, because whenever we ask this question to anyone in coffee conversation or rather in real life, what since as a student we are taught to be done is like Mahatma Gandhi is my role model, or say Mother Teresa is my role model, but we do not understand the importance why a person should be a role model. So that's
I
amazing
think
that
everyone makes mistake. Even
you're
Mahatma Gandhi or Mother Teresa would have made some mistakes. I think
that's
beauty
correct.
of having a role model is to learn good qualities.
Correct. That's nice, sir. So like you have had, sir, 10 years, more than 10 years of experience now in your field. So after a certain period of time, when you plan to retire from your job, So do you have any such plans after retirement? Like what would you like to pursue or do as in?
I would like to continue playing cricket
That's
and relax somewhere in mountains.
yes, sir. From the
I would
hustle bustle
definitely
of the
not
corporate
like
life.
to continue working.
Chilling and playing cricket in the mountains might be.
Yeah.
That would be an amazing way to actually live a retirement life. So I guess we have one or two questions in the chat box. So I would just read them out for you if you could give your opinion on the same. So one student has a question that I'm a fellow CS student preparing for the executive exam in December. So do you have any tips for the same?
My tip would be that I don't know whether you are appearing for one group, two group. I would just say appear for maximum and do smart study in terms of analyzing what comes, what doesn't come in past 3 or 4 papers, and build on that. Don't be content with the one group that I'm preparing for one group, I'll give one group. I think always try to outreach your expectations. So higher the bar you will set for you, higher you will work on it.
That's nice. So he says, thank you, sir.
And feel free to give me a call or connect with me separately if you want any more guidance on this.
Also, sir, I would like to ask.
So I've got two questions.
So,
yeah.
Yes, over to you, Amir, sir.
Okay. Sorry, we got disconnected. Yeah. One is a googly one. Describe Anuj in one word.
Go-getter and ambitious. 2 words I've used.
Thank you. And next question will be, since you're in corporate legal, what advice would you give to law students who wants to pursue a career in as a corporate legal?
My advice to students pursuing or want to pursue corporate legal would be to understand businesses before advising on the legal solutions. I think a lot of places you see a lawyer answering only wearing a legal hat. But when you are in corporate, you should know what the challenges business face, and then read law and interpret and come up with solutions. I think on a first reading of law, I think reading of law depends on what you are trying to achieve. If you read law without any objective in mind and without any scenario particularly, you will come up with a very conservative approach. Once you are pushed to the corner to think a more challenging approach, then probably you will come up with more innovative way of how a law can be interpreted in right way.
So what preparation he has to do after graduation for selection of any particular industry, because corporate legal can be for the various different companies are there. Like you are in banking and insurance, there will be pharma, there will be aviation, there will be manufacturing, there will be health. So whatever Indian companies, so how do we select which company to take up and what is the scope like?
So I think especially our law curriculums are not designed in a manner that you can choose industry before coming into the profession. So in different parts of the world, it does happen that you specialize in pharma laws and you come up to the pharma company. Even I did not have a specialization in banking laws or BFSI laws. You ended up there. That's how our curriculums are structured. So they make you a lawyer, and then you enter the corporate world and decide which industry you want to float in. So I would say if you are very keen and you have an industry in mind, choose specific courses which impacts industry along with your law. Choose those certifications which impact those industries. Like in banking, you will have a lot of banking laws related certification which happens. Choose those. In FMCG, you will have a lot of food safety, lot of safety standards, level of laws which are applicable. Choose those certifications. If you want to enter into data protection, choose those certifications along with your law.
Very good, very good. So like just to add to the viewers, we supported, was a technology law course conducted by Praveen Gandhi College. And we have got an initiative, Saksham Student Empowerment Program, where we had sponsored 20 students. So there were a mixed crowd from law students as well as cybersecurity students also. So this is a good thing which advisors have given. Add certification, which then you can decide which industry to join in. So students, please follow this advice given by Anuj. There are a lot of certifications nowadays available. So do those small short courses, and accordingly in your final year, decide which industry which adds to your passion also, sir. Passion should also be there. If you join a pharma company and your passion is not into pharma research and all those things, so you will be wasting your time, effort over there. Instead, look into what excites you and join that industry and build up your career over there. Like how Anuj sir has done it. A lot of research, a lot of things. He's building up in both as a company secretary as well as a legal professional. So
and be ready to take more challenges in terms of different industries. Why limit yourself to a particular industry? Why narrow down your choices? I think you should be open to trying new industries.
Yeah, that is also
It
good.
really gives you a different perspective, because sometimes you may end up in a group which operates in 3 different industries.
This is also good. There are now a variety of industries which have a lot of scope and opportunities, like media, copyright, because of the OTT explosion. So there are good suggestions, sir. You can broaden your horizon. After some years, you can change your field depending. There are more opportunities are coming in, and a lot of new short-term courses also coming in. So you have to just have that eagerness and that passion.
Spend 10% of your salaries on your learning and development.
Are you all listening? Sir is spending and advising 10%. True. We have to spend on our skill upgradation. That is the norm. If you invest in yourself, you are reaping, 100 times benefit.
All fields, rapid changes
Yes,
are happening. Whether you see legal, technology, pharma, everywhere changes are happening so rapidly that what you have studied might not hold good 2-3 years down the line. So you'll have to upgrade yourself. So spend good amount of money on your learning and development and upgradation.
Very true, very true. We follow at our company, and I'm myself doing a digital entrepreneurship program at the IMOTW, Internet Moguls of the World, under Aviva. So 1 year coaching course, working on micro videos. Well, videos are the in thing. How you can use videos for education, for awareness, so many things. So you have to have eagerness for learning. That is a mantra, continuous learning at all times, at all ages. So over to Mansoor, any more questions you want to add?
Yes, okay, so Anuj sir, we want to know what is the best compliment you ever received on the professional front as well as the personal front? Yeah, Anuj sir.
So screen is not visible.
Yeah,
not
At
visible.
least, Guys, I guess there's some technical issues or has been disconnected, but please wait. He'll be joining back.
Yeah, Anuj is just joining in 5 minutes back.
So what we can do is we can have a rapid fire round with the audience. What do you say?
Yes, sir, we can.
Yeah, to start.
The audience can put the answers in the chat box.
I think we'll
I
join
guess
in. I think
sir
we'll
has
join in.
come. Yeah.
So next time we'll have an rapid fire round for the audience only separately. So you can win prizes. Welcome back, sir.
I lost in between.
No problem. Okay. So we'll continue then. So we want to know, so what is the best compliment you have got in your professional life as well as your personal life?
I'll first answer about my personal life. I think in personal life, I've always got a compliment that be as you are. And that's what I want to be. So I think a lot of times you try to change and you try to adapt new things, and in order of that, you lose your originality. So I would like to retain my originality on a personal front. On the professional front, the best compliment I got was when I was leaving RBS. One of my seniors gave me a compliment that you are a mid cap stock which has potential to become blue chip.
Okay.
Wow.
So that gave me really a lot of confidence in terms of how your seniors perceive you and kind of confidence they have in you. And it also tells you when an ex individual has that level of confidence in you, your confidence shouldn't be less than that individual. So your confidence has to, in your abilities, has to be much higher than what people expect. So I think you need to feel confident about yourself for world to believe you are confident enough.
That's so true. And this is the last question of the day. Okay. How do you maintain work-life balance?
I think it's the most difficult question, was reserved for the last. So I would say I try my level best to switch off between personal and professional lives. When I'm in office, you try to disengage with your personal life, but it doesn't happen all the time. You still may have a good news coming from home or bad news coming from home, which will make you worry. And similar things happen at home. When you reach home, you want to spend time with your family. You don't want to think about what you have done throughout the day, etc. Don't want to think about the pressures you face in office. Sometimes you are able to do that, sometimes you're not able to do that. So you need to strike that balance, what works for you as an individual. There's no definitive answer as to spend 40% there, 60% there. There's no definitive answer to this. Everyone tries their level best, and what works for you is the right solution for you.
So all right, thank you for that. Over to you, Khushbu.
Sure. Anything you want to add, Amit sir?
So lovely
Nothing
conversation this time,
specific.
in spite of we had some hiccups technical wise. We got disconnected, Anuj disconnected, but this is one of the memorable conversations because he has shared so many insights and so many, what do you say, guidance and memorable words, which are of valuable, which are like diamonds, which we will share with who have missed it because of the college exams are going on. Many law students were very eager. We wanted to have a mentor round also, sir. So that's why I told you, okay, but this conversation has to continue. But there are many students who would love to learn from you because of the way you have developed yourself using technology, so many things, work life, your passion, cricket, so many things are there. We had specially planned a mentor hour. Sorry, mentor round. One more round. Rapid fire was there, but mentor round also where students can come and you can have spend some time with answering them. But that's why I told you. So what we can do is let's open our cameras and give your best smile. So these memories which can be carried.
Yes.
So whoever is on the camera, please on your camera. And Subhash, you can get all the speakers on a spotlight and take our photographs together.
And I think on technology hiccups, everyone tries their best in terms of planning to not face a hiccup, but technology will always surprise you.
Yeah. Keep all of us together in one frame. And take the picture.
All right, I think we are done.
Yeah. So now, vote of thanks.
Thank you, sir. Firstly, I would like to thank everyone for joining us, and especially the chief guest that we have today, Anuj sir, for taking out his time and putting the effort and his outlook in such a beautiful way and giving us multiple success mantras in one episode of Coffee Conversation. So thank you so much, sir.
Welcome. I think you guys have been wonderful hosts and participants. We've listened. I think there's been no surprise in terms of anyone going on unmute and noises coming. So that was really well organized.
Right. With this, we have come. Yes, sir.
No, you're getting freeze.
Yeah, I think I am visible now. With this, we have come to the end of today's coffee episode. And now we would like to thank our partners, that is the India Business Group, Lions Club of Mumbai, Shining, Noam Learning Students Group, and the team, the Emerging India Forum. And especially to our gifting partners, that is Fibers Expressions, because they have a surprise for all the participants and members who had joined the conversation today. They are distributing a digital branding calendar worth rupees 2499, and that would be sent via email to all the students and members who had joined today. So it's a beautiful calendar, and since the conversation had moved around so much about technology, I think it would be very different to see what you receive in your email. So yeah, courtesy to Fibers Expressions. See you all in the next coffee episode. Have a great weekend, and we'll be bringing another great speaker in the next episode of Coffee. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.